think that death is unknowable, which is why it's so interesting to us as humans, because we think that we can know everything, and that's what makes death magic to me. Like, I think about death clinically as biologically your body stops being alive. What happens from there, I think, is unknowable, and so I'm not even going to try to like guess. And it cracks me up when people say that they have the answer of like, oh, there's a heaven and a hell, or there's nothing. And I'm like, I think everybody's wrong. I think that there is something that we cannot comprehend with our little pea brains. So I think death cannot be known. But in a clinical sense, death is the absence.
What is death? The first thing that popped into my brain was the absence of life. And I'm like, that's a terrible answer. From a scientific perspective, I guess death would be when the heart is no longer beating and the brain is no longer functioning. The metaphysical perspective kind of ties into that a little bit insofar as death is when we can no longer perceive anything, because what is life but our meat computers utilizing these bodies to perceive the world around us, right? So if you turn everything off, then that is death, technically. But is there something after that? Now that's the big question. So I guess go back to the beginning. Death is the cessation of living in this realm, living like this body just no longer functions. Computer off, heart off. That is death.
Well, obviously it means that you don't have a pulse rate. Particularly, I think they judge death more on brainwave patterns. If there's no brainwave there, you're gone. So that's physiologically. I think, I would think use the word spiritual. In spiritual terms, the spirit leaves the body and the person passes over to the other side. That's what it means to die, as far as I'm concerned.
I guess death to me is, I find it really fascinating. I've always been questioning it, what happens after death. To me, it's like the end, but also the beginning, because I think you move on to something else. So for like you, it's the end, right? But it's the next chapter. For people around you, it's the end. If that makes sense. So like you're never going to see that person again. At least you feel that way in the moment.
To die. I'm going to say it's the end, but is it the end? It's like the close of a chapter, the end of a book. And physically, I don't want to say it's dark. To me, it's just, it's overwhelming sadness. But then for some it's a blessing, for some it's heartache. So all that wrapped up, it's a wave of emotions. That's death. It's a wave of emotions.
To die means to change form. You are the same, you're just changing a form. Your physical body disintegrates, but your spiritual body does not.